Welcome to Silicon Valley Buzz, a TV show where we discuss happenings in this, the most fertile spot on the planet for new ideas. I'm your host, Seth Shostak, and tonight, manufacturing in the Valley. We did it once. Can we do it again? Is there a future for manufacturing here? Tonight we'll be talking with a guest who says the answer to that could be yes. Please welcome Nat Manny. Nat is president and CEO of Bestronics here in San Jose.
San Jose. Glad to be here, Seth.
Glad to have you here, Nat. You're doing electronics manufacturing here. I mean, you're really putting together electronics? Why'd you do this? Wouldn't it be better just to have a company that designs products and then you send them over the internet to someplace in Asia and have them put together there?
So each region of the world figures out what it does well. We in the Valley are able to design complicated things. For that, we need an ecosystem. And this Valley there's nothing like it in the world which provides access to test engineers, software engineers, manufacturing process engineers, and all that. And that's how all these things come together. At a certain volume, certain products may need to go offshore, but majority of the work that we do for the complicated ones, they end up being here in the Valley.
Give me an example, the kind of product that really would benefit to having the manufacturing plant in the same city as the design guys.
For example, I'll give an example. We at our company make a product, I wouldn't name the end customer because it's confidential, but essentially what we do is we do a very sophisticated positioning device that's used for survey equipment. It's got really sophisticated electronics. It ties the signals to essentially satellite-based GPS controls and is used for positioning and surveying. It's the electronics assembly goes into a box. And believe it or not, this product actually ships to China. The Chinese, for their high-speed rail infrastructure, use this product for that part of it. So essentially, I look at manufacturing as a challenge in the sense that there's some interesting projects that we can essentially leverage the ecosystem and serve the world market.
And how is Bestronics doing? I mean, are you growing?
We are growing. Actually, we had a record quarter last quarter. We moved into a building that was 3 times bigger last year. We already are looking at a next building, a next couple of set of buildings. So we're actually doing well thanks to all the customers that we have and the work that they appreciated what we have done for them.
Let's go back to the advantages of manufacturing here.
The best engineers that you want to have on the project, if they're on the phone at night talking to their offshore suppliers, in a long time, I've done this myself in the past. When you had a product, you go get on a plane ride, you solve the problem, you don't come back 3-4 weeks later. You can't do that anymore.
It seems to me, again, you've got this product, and if you've lost control over the manufacturing, that seems to me that can't work in your favor to begin with. It's very cumbersome, as you've already pointed out. You're on the phone. I mean, if it's being put together in India, that's 12 hours away, right? Nobody's awake there.
That's right.
So it's a one-day turnaround all the time. But beyond that, you want to fine-tune that manufacturing process, and it's very slow going. Germany trades on the fact that its products are perceived as being very high quality.
So I would proudly say that whatever we make in the Valley is as good as anything else that's made out there, because the fact that we have all these inspections and standards. And the other advantage is if you have a factory that's far off, to send your quality engineer to supervise what's going on. They may look at samples. Here, they're right there. There's an issue. They come in, they get resolve it, and they can get those things solved quite easily. And the IP protection is the other thing that we talk about. There are a lot of projects where customers are concerned about IP protection, and for those sort of products, obviously we have the best intellectual property protection system anywhere in the world, so customers are comfortable working with a manufacturer or an outsourced manufacturer such as us and anybody else, knowing that their IP is going to be trusted. They know that they can follow the standards and all that part of it. So those things are clearly advantages for us. Germany's labor costs are 33% higher than the US, yet as a percent of their GDP, they are about 20% versus US is 12. There's a lot of Germany exports a lot of products, a lot of high-end products, and that's, if we want to look at an aspirational model, that's what I would look to as opposed to China. The labor cost is never going to, our labor cost is never going to be as low as China. No matter how much we do, that's not what our value is. Our value is in providing some really complex engineering support and then coming up with some products that actually make sense.
How much manufacturing actually is there in the Valley?
There's quite a bit of manufacturing in the Valley. In fact, if you look at San Jose, there's a stunning statistic that it has 6 times the number of electronic manufacturing headcount than any other part of the US. So which is kind of an amazing piece of data if you look at it. As we have grown from the personal computer to where we are today, there is a lot of high-end advanced manufacturing, some complicated things that are going on in the Valley that really essentially are feeding in the Valley ecosystem. And it is a very much a vibrant part of what we do today. We are talking about essentially putting together a hardware incubator for newer companies that essentially have access to the manufacturing and do that part of it. Those kind of initiatives, if we can essentially go look at as projects, they will actually create a lot of interest in the manufacturing part of it and get some folks that are real brilliant designers to really look at things like what they need to do when the product gets to high volume. So those are kind of the things we need to kind of talk about as an industry, figure out how to collaborate, how to create an ecosystem, if you will, in order for the engineers and inventors to be able to see and launch their products.